Now, the immigration side, Jason, can you kind of give an insight on the immigration and all that too, the story?
Yeah, man, I tell you, and you know, people in America these days, it's almost like we take the American dream for granted. You
Oh,
know?
sure.
And when I heard her story, I was like, "Holy cow, man! Some people are really willing to travel far for that American dream." Because to get here, when I heard her lottery story, I was like, "I'm gonna research."
1%. It was a 1% chance.
1%.
Yeah.
And then what was it? They also got rid of the embassy in Russia.
Yeah, so now after the war, can we talk about it?
Yeah.
Now after the war between Russia and Ukraine, all the embassies, all the U.S. embassies in Russia were closed.
Yeah.
We used to have three of them in Moscow, and Yekaterinburg, and Vladivostok. So it's like three parts of Russia, and they are closed. They're all closed, and they now send us Russians to U.S. embassy in Warsaw to get our immigration visas, and we had to
In
go
Poland, right? Warsaw.
Yes, in
Warsaw, Poland.
Yes.
Yep.
And they don't really like Russians too now, and it's kind of hard. So we had to get a visa for Hungary to get into Poland, and yeah, so it was a long trip too. It was a lot of some complicated processes.
How long is the trip anyway? If you want to go to Russia to here,
to Russia from here, it's more than 24 hours exactly. Wow. Like I would say even like 30, 36 hours.
Well, yeah, and also just kind of the language we talk, right? Like for example, you had to go to Warsaw to no choice of your own, right? To visit the embassy there, and it's like you mentioned, they don't like Russians there, right? But it's like, hey, look, you have a rogue, you have a monarch, essentially a tyrant, a despot in Putin. That is, he doesn't talk for all the Russian people. Just like if Kamala got elected for the United States I would definitely not be someone that would be, hey, I'm an American. I wouldn't want to be associated with her and anything that they stand for. So that's one of the challenges that the United States has is, for example, Trump, all the great things he's doing and has done for these first 100 days and more is, it's under a microscope because now it's every 4-year cycle. See these guys like Putin and these CCP, Chinese Communist Party. He's a for life. He's a ruler for life, right?
Yep.
So Russian people, American people, we have a lot more in common. In other words,
that's true.
The people themselves. It's sometimes these ruling class. And luckily for America, our politics got totally shifted away from the Bushes and the Clintons and the Obamas to a new, basically one that says, hey, let's give the rights back to the people. Let's give the freedom back to the people. Let's open up the trade barriers again. Let's reanalyze everything, basically.
But we had to hit rock bottom before that, man.
We did.
Under Biden.
That's right. We sure did. Yeah, so immigration-wise, do we have any statistics or do we know, like, for example, we noticed that there was something like 10 million illegals came through the southern border. And some people even say that number's low, right, over the last 4 years. So it could be up to 15, 18 million.
What's cool about that lotto issue, how many total do they give? Was it like 5,000 to 7,000 for Russia?
It's random number of picked people.
But you get like a 1% chance of getting picked. Then what are the chances you actually get approved? Like what percentage?
Oh, that's crazy story too. So usually, like my year, I was applying for lottery 24. It was 22 million people who applied.
Wow.
And it was only 100,000 who got picked.
100,000 out of 22.
Yes. So and
that's from all different countries, right?
Yeah, it's from all different countries. They divide us into like regions. So it's Europe, it's Asia, it's Africa.